Hi friends, my name is Subin and I'm from Korea. Please like and subscribe. When my mom was pregnant with me, so was her best friend.
When our kids are born, they'll be buddies just like us.
And Ben and I were growing up. He was my pal. One time, Ben and I were playing and he was running after me. Then he accidentally nudged me and I fell down the stairs. I hit my head. But before I could cry, Ben started wailing.
No, Subin! Oh my god, it's all my fault. Does it hurt? Let me pick you up. Gosh, you're heavy. Subin! Are you okay?
Ben? I'm fine, really. Saying that, I hugged him. Ben was such a softie. I did get an infinity stone on my forehead, like Vision, but I didn't blame Ben. He was the best, and I wished we'd always be together. But when I was 5, Ben and his parents had to move to France for a work opportunity. And I missed him so much. As if things couldn't get any worse. Dad suffered a huge loss in his business soon after. Slowly, I saw how bad Mom and Dad's relationship was getting because of money problems. And after a few years, Mom left us. But Dad always tried to make me happy. We were so short on money that we had to shop at thrift stores, but he spent hours looking for the things I'd like.
Look at this jacket, Subin. It has rhinestones. You love rhinestones.
It is pretty, Daddy.
See? I told you we'd find some good stuff here.
Since I was a good student, I got a scholarship at my school and relieved Dad of that burden. I worked hard and was a top student. I needed to keep the scholarship. And when I was in the 10th grade, something awesome happened. Ben and his parents had returned to town and moved into a big mansion. And seeing Ben on the first day of school after summer vacation, my heart started beating fast. And then he swept me into his arms.
Subin! Oh my god, you haven't changed a bit!
But you have. You're so tall and whoa, so muscular. Ben and I were in the same class and we started hanging out together all the time. But I soon realized he was getting way too much attention from all the girls, especially Haran. And she was the worst. She acted like she owned the whole town just because her mom was the mayor. And to my horror, Ben and Haran soon started dating. I hated her. But for Ben's sake, I pretended to be nice, and she did the same. She acted like a saint in front of Ben, but not when he wasn't around. She'd do petty things like pull out the chair when I was about to sit, and she would always comment on my clothes and appearance.
I'm saying all this for your benefit. No one likes a girl who looks so poor.
I'd rather be poor than a jerk like you. Gosh, what did Ben ever see in that witch? One time for lunch, Ben had gotten the yummiest pizza, and we were enjoying it when Haran came and hugged him tight.
Oh, I missed you so much in art class. Why didn't you join it, Benny Winnie?
You know I'm a science guy, babe. Here, wanna have some pizza?
She refused, and then Ben packed the leftovers and told me I should take them home because he was full. Dad and I never ordered out much, and I was happy to share it with him. A few weeks later, it was Ben's birthday, and he invited me to his place. I saw how Ben and Haran were dancing so close to each other, and it made me feel so jealous. I went to the balcony for some fresh air. After a while, I was headed back inside when Haran and some of her friends came, and I hid behind a plant.
You've really got yourself a hot boyfriend this time, Haran.
Yeah, he's totally wrapped around my fingers. He adores me and gives me the best gifts. There's just one problem. His miserable beggar friend. Oh, I really hate her. You know, Ben cares for her so much that he gets her favorite pizza for lunch every day and pretends to be full so she can take the leftovers home. He really pities her and she has no shame. She could probably live on his charity forever.
Why would Ben tell her something like that?
What? So pathetic.
Wiping my tears, I just ran back home. After that date, I sort of ignored Ben, even though he asked me if something was wrong a million times. I just didn't need his pity or his charity. When we were in our senior year, our teacher announced a science tournament and the winning team was going to get an amazing cash prize. Dad and I could always use the money, so I immediately signed up for it and I was paired with Ben. I tried to get my partner changed, but the teacher said it was final.
So you wanna come over to my place to brainstorm some ideas?
No thanks.
Hey, Subin. I don't know why you stopped talking to me, but come on. This is a great opportunity. Let's do this together, please.
I knew Ben was a science genius and being paired with him was probably the best thing. So I reluctantly agreed. We came up with some really cool ideas and I ended up at his place almost every day to work on them. But I noticed how his mom was never around. A few times I asked about her, but he'd always ignore the question. But one time, Ben and I were at a park near his home, and he asked me the strangest question.
Subin, do you ever miss your mom? Does she call you? How does it feel to live with just one parent?
I never really thought about it. I guess it's not so bad knowing how much my dad loves me. It's not exactly a secret that we don't have much money, but he goes out of his way to make me happy. I don't know how to live with two parents, but the one I have, I love to bits.
That's really sweet, I asked because, well, my mom, she isn't well. She's going through treatment. Sometimes it's really hard to see her like that.
Oh God, Ben, I'm so sorry. I didn't know he was going through such a rough time.
Subin, why'd you stop talking to me?
Taking a deep breath, I told him what happened at his birthday party.
Subin, Heron kinda twisted my words. Yeah, I told her you guys were going through a tough time, but because you're my friend and I care about you, not because I pity you. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have discussed it with her at all.
Saying that he came close and swept my bangs aside.
You still have the scar. I was so scared that day. I'm so sorry, Subin.
Hey, it was a long time ago, and it kind of reminded me of you. When you were away, Ben looked at me like he might kiss me, but he suddenly snapped his fingers.
Bazinga! I just got a brilliant idea for our project.
And he sure did. Just a few more adjustments and our model worked. We came first at the science competition, and Ben gave all the prize money to me, saying I did the hard work. It wasn't true, and I knew he was just being kind. Why did such a nice guy have to be with Haran? But then Ben told me one day that he was going to break up with Haran soon. My heart was jumping with excitement, but I pretended to be sad. And when Ben broke it to Haran, the girl had a complete meltdown. She took a bat and smashed all the notice boards around the school during her psycho rampage. Haran suddenly spotted me and was coming right at me, but Ben stepped in between.
Stop making a fool of yourself, Heron. It's over.
You're doing this because of her! Because of this poor, ugly bimbo!
Subin's my best friend, and she's special to me. Don't insult her again.
Haran stomped off furiously, and I was left dazed. Ben just said I was special to him. Whoa. I was on cloud 9, and I just needed to confess my love to my best friend. I didn't have the guts to say it to his face, and we didn't have phones, so I wrote him a letter. Dear Ben, I saw you for the first time in kindergarten, and I've had a crush on you since. What I really want to tell you is that I love you a lot. Subin. During recess, I slipped the note in Ben's bag, but for some reason he got called to the principal's office in the last period. I kept wondering if he saw the letter, and when I got a reply the next day in my locker, I almost had a heart attack.
Dear Subin, I love you too. I was gonna tell you, but I didn't have the courage. Let's meet at our spot tonight. I can't wait to kiss you. Ben.
It was like all my dreams were coming true. Wearing a new dress, I went to the park and waited for Ben. I was so excited and nervous. But suddenly I felt someone pull my hair and I landed on my butt. Heron!
Oh, a new dress for Ben! Ha ha ha! He ain't coming, sweetie. He showed us your letter and we're all in fits.
What? You're lying.
Oh no, I'm not. You really think he'd leave me for some poor beggar like you? In your dreams, girl.
Haran kicked me and suddenly I saw red and I pounced on her. But her friends got me off of her and then they all ripped my beautiful dress. I felt so furious that I punched Haran square in the jaw. What happened next was a disaster. Haran called her mom and made up a whole story about how I attacked her for no reason. And her mom made a case of assault against me and actually sent me to juvie for 2 months. My dad was devastated and so was I. Even worse, Ben never showed his face, not once. Coward! As soon as I got out, Dad and I left town. After weeks of interviews, Dad finally ended up finding a decent job, and I worked as a waitress too, while I studied in a community college. 4 years later, I graduated with a law degree at the top of my class. Luckily, I got hired by a law firm, and just a couple of years later, I became a junior partner. One day, I read a piece of news that filled me with joy. Haran's mom had been arrested for corruption during her time as mayor. The whole family was being publicly humiliated. They deserved it. Sometime later, my firm asked me to set up an office in my old town, and I was kinda glad to return. I wanted to show everyone what I'd made of myself. One day, I was busy doing some paperwork when Haran walked into my office asking me for a job.
Please, Subin, help me! No one in this town wants to hire me or my family for anything. I know I was mean to you.
Cruel, you were cruel to me.
Yes, cruel and terrible. Please, Please forgive me!
After Haran begged for a job for days, I finally let her be my personal assistant. And she had to do literally everything I asked. I really made her suffer for a while. It was fun, but then it wasn't. Seeing her qualifications, I gave her a higher position.
Wow! I don't know what to say! Thank you! And this means you've forgiven me?
No, not really, but I'm trying to be a better person, better than people were to me.
Subin, I never wanted things to go so far with you going to juvie and everything. Mom just got carried away. I'm really, really sorry.
After that day, Haran was always nice to me, and so was I. I just didn't want to hold grudges. But one day, as I was walking out of a coffee shop, I bumped into a guy. It was Ben.
Oh my god, Subin, I've missed you. We need to talk.
Suddenly, the memory of him giving my letter to Haran came rushing back. No, stay away from me! But the next day, there were tons of roses in my office and a note from Ben telling me how he wanted to meet at our spot. What a jerk. But this kept happening every day for a week. One day, I got so frustrated that I started throwing them out the window. But Haran stopped me.
Subin, I need to tell you something, and it's gonna make you hate me even more. But I have to. Ben is completely innocent.
What are you talking about?
Ben never got your letter. I stole it from his bag, and I lied that he showed it to me. I made all of that up, and he never showed up to see you because, well, he'll tell you everything. And again, I'm terribly sorry.
I drove to our spot in the park and saw Ben sitting on a bench. And I gave him a chance to explain. Turns out the day I put the letter in his bag, Ben got the news that his mom had suddenly gotten much sicker. And he flew to France with her for some treatment. He stayed there the next 3 months, and he said he called my place and wrote me letters, but he never got a reply. And when he returned, I'd already left town.
I looked for you a lot, but I had no idea where you were or why you'd left without a word, till Haran reached out to me some weeks ago and explained everything she did.
She just told me everything, too. I'm so sorry about your mom. I'm sorry I left without giving you a chance to even explain.
It's all in the past. There's only one thing I need to say to you now, Subin. The thing is, I've always...
Loved me?
Yes!
I've always loved you too, Ben, since forever.
Hi, I'm Rena. Please like and subscribe. I was walking in the school hallway after I failed my chemistry exam for the 5th time in the 10th grade. And that's when I realized that the best thing I could do was look for a good husband and marry him after graduation. I had no future in college anyways. And when I was busy imagining myself as the wife of a handsome billionaire, I bumped into a boy I had never seen before. And in a heavy accent, he said,
You have 3 weeks to fall in love with me.
What? I was shocked, but he looked very serious. I tried to push him away, but he stopped me.
It's only 3 weeks, and I know you very well, Rena. You'll like taking risks. Agree to this, and I promise you, you will have the best time of your life.
I stared at him and started talking, but I tripped over something and was about to fall when he caught me just in time.
Easy there, baby girl.
What did he just call me? I pushed him away and fell on my butt really hard. Don't touch me! And where are you from?
Italy!
Italian guys are so attractive, but you look ugly to me. Of course I was lying. He was really cute. And so what? You made a bet with your Italian friends before coming to the States that you will make an American girl fall in love with you in the first 3 weeks.
Kinda, but the bet was with my brothers. It was actually for 5 weeks. But when I saw you and knew you were miserable and ugly, I chose you and told my brothers. Nah, I only needed 3 weeks to make this girl fall head over heels in love with me.
Wow. Who did he think he was? Did you just call me ugly?
Yeah, but people must tell you that all the time, right?
Ugh. I ignored him and walked away, but he followed me and started begging. He told me he knew about my sick dad and that I lost my mom years ago. He offered to pay me $10,000 if I agreed to spend 3 weeks at school with him so his brothers could see us together. And what did I have to lose? I already failed 2 exams. Are you gonna buy me food?
A lot of food!
Deal! And just like that, I became his fake girlfriend. His name was Antonio, and he was super rich. And in the first 2 hours of our fake relationship, he bought me 5 Gucci bags.
If I have to be seen with you, you should change your cheap, ugly clothes. These are your size and your favorite color. Black!
How did you know about my favorite color?
You mentioned that in an Insta post March 2018, and you said from now on, I will only wear black.
Yeah, it's the day my mom passed away, and I was just sad.
Oh, I'm really sorry. Please forgive me.
I saw this as a chance to make him feel guilty, so I said, I don't know if I can forgive you. That might take a while. I saw a worried look on his face. Perfect! I excused myself to go to the bathroom to do my happy dance first and then try on all these amazing dresses. When I left the bathroom, Antonio looked really impressed, and so did everyone else. I saw the look on every girl's face who made fun of me and my clothes. And to tease them more, I put my arm around Antonio's. "You're amazing, amor mio." "In your face, witches!" The next few days were heaven. I got the latest iPhone, expensive shoes and clothes, amazing makeup, and the best perfumes. Now, Antonio and I were inseparable, and everyone envied me. It felt amazing. Until one evening, I was studying for a stupid poetry exam. When I felt hungry, I texted Antonio and asked him to bring me some Italian food. A few minutes later, someone knocked on the door. It was a good-looking guy around my age. "Antonio sent you?"
No English, madam.
Just then, Dad asked me who I was talking to, and I said, "Some really handsome delivery boy. Too bad he doesn't understand English, and too dumb for a really hot boy."
At least I'm not too dumb to think that Shakespeare is two verbs. You even turned it into the past tense. Shook, speared. How did you even come up with that?
Hey, it's a confusing name. Poetry is hard. Oh, wait. Didn't you say you didn't speak English?
Well, your jerk boyfriend, who is also my brother, asked me not to talk to you. He's afraid that you would fall in love with me.
Oh, wow. What's up with this family? But I decided to let it go and took the bags of food from him. And before closing the door, I said, "Thanketh thee, I loveth thee."
You just said I love you.
Oh my God! I'm such an idiot. This was so awkward. I just burst into tears. Can you please tutor me? Teach me something, man. I don't want to fail this exam. My dad will kill me.
Okay, I'm gonna help you. Not because I care or anything. It's because I want to tease my brother and spend some time with you to piss him off.
You guys are so honest.
It runs in our blood.
And he pushed me and got inside. His name was Lorenzo, and he was such a smart guy. He tutored me for 5 hours, and the next day, I failed the exam. But who cares? I was the fake girlfriend of a wealthy boy. During lunch, Antonio got me a cute bracelet with our letters carved on it. He was really into this bet, but suddenly he got serious.
Don't you ever talk to Lorenzo again. Do you hear me?
Or what? Are you for real? You're not the boss of me. This relationship is all fake.
I said do not talk to him again.
Who did he think he was, talking to me like that? Just then, I spotted Lorenzo. So I pushed Antonio aside and went to sit with him. I even faked crying over the poetry exam and hugged Lorenzo so tight. He hugged me back. Later that day, I felt really sleepy during the boring lesson and put my head on the desk to take a nap. But someone started throwing paper balls at me. It was Antonio standing outside the window. "What are you doing here? Leave before the teacher sees you."
Come with me now. I won't leave until you come with me.
He was crazy. I didn't want the teacher to notice anything, so I just jumped out the window. I fell into Antonio's arms, and his face was really close to mine. I could see how amazing his brown eyes were. I also noticed a scar next to his eyebrow. "That's a cute scar." But suddenly Antonio let me go, and I fell on the ground. Ouch!
Follow me.
I followed him into the parking lot, and there I found a fancy carriage with 2 white horses. In what age do you live? But just then, 2 girls pulled me into the carriage and put makeup and a cute Disney princess dress on me. And then Antonio joined me. We reached a beautiful meadow filled with wildflowers. We had an amazing dinner, and I said, "Why are you doing this? We both know it's fake."
I don't know. I just felt like it.
And then he held my hand and looked straight into my eyes. And he got closer. But just then, my phone rang, and I looked at it nervously.
Is that him? What does he want?
We agreed that he would tutor me tonight. I have a chemistry exam tomorrow.
That's not gonna happen.
Oh, I'm sorry. I already texted him and sent him my location to pick me up. And a while later, Lorenzo arrived, holding a pretty bracelet in his hand. He handed it to me in front of Antonio.
Every charm has a different chemical element with its symbol to help you remember them better.
You mean help me cheat better? Man, you're the best. I high-fived him and left him saying bye to Antonio. That night, I studied with Lorenzo for 3 hours. And to my surprise, I was finally able to understand some things in chemistry. I know it was my 6th attempt to succeed, but still. I got up to do my happy dance, and I don't know what happened, but I accidentally poured some soda on his t-shirt. I apologized immediately and started using wipes to clean up his shirt. Oh God, I'm such a dummy. I'm sorry. He held my hand, and I could feel his warm breath on my face. God, he was irresistible.
You're really pretty, Rena.
We looked at each other for a moment, and he got closer to kiss me. But I stopped him. I can't do this. I'm with Antonio now.
But it's all fake, Rena.
I know, but I think he's not that bad. And
Oh my god. You really think he likes you? How can you be this stupid?
he got up and left. Now I was really confused. Whom did I really like? Was it Antonio or Lorenzo? Next day, when I arrived at school, I saw Lorenzo and waved at him, but he ignored me. I walked toward him, but Antonio showed up and put his arm around my neck.
I believe your feet hurt really bad after last night.
Why are you saying that?
Because you walked into every single dream I had last night. Caramelina!
Ugh, so lame. But just then, he gave me my favorite chocolate and said,
I'm not as smart as Lorenzo, and I can't help tutor you, but I can give you chocolate. It will help you remember things better.
I thanked him and left. I spent the few coming days with Antonio because Lorenzo was ignoring me. And one day, Lorenzo didn't come to school, and I got worried because he never missed school. I asked Antonio about him, but he got all angry and didn't want to answer. But I insisted. And he told me that Lorenzo wasn't feeling well and was taken to the hospital last night.
Why are you looking at me like that? Go see your Prince Charming. He needs you.
I left the school and ran to see Lorenzo. I saw him sitting on his bed. He was surprised when he saw me. Lorenzo, before you say anything, I'm sorry about everything. I didn't realize how much you mean to me until we stopped talking. I really miss you, and I was thinking maybe we should go out. But just then, a girl showed up and held Lorenzo's hand. Oh my God! What are the chances that this ugly redhead is your sister?
0! She is my girlfriend!
What the freaking flamingo! I wish the ground would open up and swallow me.
Rena, listen.
No, it's okay! I just ran out of there crying. Why did God make me so dumb? I didn't go to school for the next 2 days, although I finally passed the chemistry exam. But I was too sad. Then I remembered I'd agreed with Antonio 3 weeks ago that I'd let him record a fake video of me begging him not to leave me, to show it as proof to his brothers that he won the bet. So, I went to school and told him I was ready.
For what?
For the video! You won the bet, remember?
I didn't win the bet. Lorenzo did. I didn't make you fall in love with me. Lorenzo did. I didn't break your heart. Lorenzo did.
Wait, are you saying that Lorenzo was involved in this? He also wanted me to fall in love with him?
Wasn't that too obvious, Rena? Can't you just look around you and see who really cared about you?
Oh, stop with your lies! Stop! I don't want to hear anything from you! Good job playing with my heart!
Oh, don't be the victim now. You just assumed that Lorenzo really liked you. And you ditched me so many times to go with him. And you didn't even care about how that made me feel?
Poor boy. He looks sad. Sorry to interrupt you guys, but I really need my chemical elements bracelet back. Since the bet is over now, and I won, you should give it back to me. It even helped you finally pass that exam. God, you're so dumb.
I got really mad at him and slapped him hard in the face. And then I got the bracelet off and threw it on the floor. Lorenzo got furious and approached me.
What did you do, you stupid girl?
Don't talk to her like that, you jerk.
Or what? What will you do to defend your little princess other than crying next to her?
And he pushed Antonio away, but Antonio punched him and he fell to the ground. Antonio wanted to hurt him even more, but I stopped him. Stop it! Enough with all this drama!
Yeah, speaking of drama, I just sent you something about your Romeo.
And he got up and left. The video showed when I left Antonio to visit Lorenzo in the hospital that day. Antonio took out a ring box and looked at it with teary eyes. But then he got mad and threw it on the ground. Then he sat on the floor and put his hands around his head. He looked really sad. Is this real? Do you like me?
I love you, Rena. You're amazing and funny and smart. And I understand that you don't love me back. So you don't have to feel sorry for me. You can leave me. I will be okay, I guess.
Or I can give you another 3 weeks to make me fall in love with you.
Really? That's amazing. Shall we start with a ring?
I think we can start with a kiss.
You're amazing! Cutie cupcake!
Wait, my mom used to call me that.
I know! Would you mind me calling you that?
You're amazing, Antonio. I was too blind to not see it. Can you please kiss me now?
I would love to. Hi there! My name is Augie, and I was just 3 years old when my mom left my dad. He was a major jerk, and she was so much happier without him. The only problem was that we were broke. My mom worked 2 jobs at once, but that wasn't enough for school, clothes, books, rent. The list was endless. I wanted to help my mom so badly that when I was 6, I tried to get a job at McDonald's. All the adults laughed at my application form. It was filled out with crayon. I was so mad. I wanted to be a grown-up. When Mom found out, she said,
Augie, the best way to help me is by doing well at school. You don't need to get a job. You're so cute.
From that day, I started paying really close attention at school. I worked hard at getting the best grades, and by the time I was 12, I was topping the district. That's how I got into the richest, snobbiest school in town. They found me and offered me a full scholarship if I transferred right away. I didn't want to leave my friends, but free school was too much to give up, so I started going to the rich side of town. Everything was different here. The roads were cleaner, the houses were bigger, and the people were meaner. The meanest of them all was Jack. His father owned the school, and he did whatever he liked. My first day, I saw him push a kid off his bike for no reason. Hey, stop that! I rushed to help the kid up and told Jack to back off.
You must be new. Do you have any idea who I am?
A massive jerk! The people watching laughed, and Jack turned beet red.
I'm your worst nightmare.
He meant it. He tried to bully me every single day for 4 years. He called me names, stole my books, and spread false rumors about me. One day, he pulled the fire alarm and told the teacher I did it. Obviously, they believed him over me. I got a whole week of detention. Didn't have time for this mess. I had to study hard all day. And now that I was older, I helped my mom by doing a job at night. We were so poor compared to everyone at school, and I did my best to hide it. I lied to everyone when they asked me what my parents do. They sell computers. They're super rich. I made sure I got the best clothes from the donation boxes in town and checked them for any imperfection. One time, I missed a tear on my coat, and Jack caught it right away.
Torn clothes? How pathetic. Are you too poor to afford basic things?
No one laughed with him. You see, other people in school really started to like me over the years. I was funny, friendly, and I didn't bully them. Jack hated this. To top it all off, I beat his grades every single time. The day the school was honoring its toppers, all hell broke loose.
This loser cannot win first place. He's a cheater.
Excuse me, I beat you fair and square. Jack ran over to me and tried to yank my medal off my neck.
Give it to me. Give it.
No! I shoved Jack away from me, and he fell back. Everyone laughed, and he began to yell loudly.
Ah, he hurt me. I sprained my leg.
He was good at putting on a show. The teachers dragged us to the principal's office, and I got the worst yelling of my life.
I want him out of this school, Dad.
Augie is our best student. We can't get rid of him.
How dare you hit my son?
Jack attacked me first.
So what? You should never hit back. You hurt him.
He's faking it. He just wants me to get into trouble.
You're both in trouble. 1 whole week of detention, and you both have to show the new students around the school.
Our school was huge, and new people had to have guides for their first week. I really didn't want to babysit with Jack, but I had no choice. We both met the new student the next day, and wow, she was stunning. She had the most beautiful brown eyes I've ever seen. The moment Jack saw her, he turned to me.
You can go. I can help her alone. I won't tell the teachers.
No way, you're a snake.
Look, that's Nancy. I've known her since we were kids, and her dad is even richer than mine. I want to date her, so just go away.
Obviously, I didn't go away. Instead, I raced up to Nancy first and gave her my best smile. I never really flirted with a girl before, but I gave it my best shot. Hi, I'm Augie. You're cute. Do you like tacos?
Yes, I love tacos.
Would you like to eat some with me after school?
Okay, why not? You're pretty cute too.
Jack literally jumped in between us.
Nancy, remember me? Jack, our dads are in the same country club.
Kind of.
Do you want to go with me tonight? I'll take you somewhere fancy.
Sorry, I'm getting tacos with Augie today.
His expression was priceless. That's what he gets for messing with me. Nancy and I went out, and I had a surprisingly good time. She was so goofy and hilarious. Some of her jokes made me choke with laughter. Wow, I'm actually having fun. I'm glad I messed with Jack.
What?
Oh, Jack has a crush on you, and he's been kind of a jerk to me, so I asked you out first.
What? I thought you thought I was cute.
Uh-oh, I do think you're cute, but...
But what? I'm just a pawn in your boy games. You just used me to mess with someone. You're a jerk.
She threw her taco at me and ran away. I quickly paid the taco guy and chased after her, but she was gone. Dang it! Jack was turning me into a terrible person. I tried to apologize to Nancy the next day, but she wouldn't even look at me. I almost gave up. Until one day when we ended up in the same elevator together. I acted on instinct. I pressed the stop button.
What are you doing?
I want to apologize, but you keep running away.
Don't bother. I'm never going to go out with you again.
I don't want you to go out with me. I'm just sorry. I acted like a complete idiot, and you have every right to hate me. She looked shocked.
Really? You mean that?
Yes, I'm really sorry I was so stupid.
Agreed. You'll have to buy me, like, 100 tacos to make up for it.
Does that mean we can be friends?
Yeah, okay, I forgive you.
Yes! All 100 tacos were worth it because Nancy was amazing. She was kind, funny, and most importantly, she was a really good friend. She was always there to help her friends with their troubles, and I felt like I could tell her almost anything. Almost. One day, Nancy asked me what my parents did for a living, and I felt real fear. If she finds out I'm poor, she won't like me. I lied quickly, hoping this would go away. But one day, Nancy wanted to walk me home, and I was trapped. I had to take her to a random mansion and pretend it was mine. I went inside and hid in the bushes till she went away. If that wasn't crazy enough, one night, she walked into the restaurant where I worked. The moment I saw her, I ducked and hid under a table. The manager called for me like 10 times, but I just couldn't make myself get out. Why was I going so crazy over this girl? Suddenly, 3 pairs of legs joined me under the table. My manager had seated women there. I immediately crawled out of the table, and all 3 women screamed, sending their food flying all over the floor. My manager caught me by the collar and fired me on the spot. If I wasn't horrified enough, I turned to see Nancy staring at me with her mouth open. Oh no, I just ran home. By the time Nancy confronted me in school, I had a lie ready for her. I got that job so I could learn some responsibility. It's not good to just live off my parents.
But why were you under the table?
I dropped my phone. I was looking for it. Somehow the lie worked, and Nancy gave me a big hug to comfort me. I was close. I was heading home from school that day when I felt someone pull me back. It was Jack!
Why were you hugging Nancy at school?
None of your business, moron!
Didn't I tell you I like her? You better back off before I make you pay.
Make me pay? Your dad can't kick me out of school. You have no power here. I stormed away from him with my head held high, thinking I had won this battle. I had no idea how far Jack would go for a shot at Nancy. She and I were having lunch in the cafeteria one day when Jack came over with his gang.
Hey Augie, your parents are rich, right?
Yes, they sell computers.
Then why are you wearing clothes that I threw in the garbage?
I was in shock. Jack pulled out his phone and played a video for everyone. It was me searching for clothes in the donation bins.
We saw you hunting for clothes like a cheap beggar. We followed you, and you live in a tiny apartment on the bad side of town.
Everyone around me was whispering. I couldn't even bear to look up at Nancy. My secret was finally out.
So what do your parents really do? Do they even have a job, or are they pathetic like you?
I couldn't take it anymore. I got off my feet and punched Jack right in the face in front of everyone. I just lost it.
I'm reporting you to my dad. Everyone saw that, right? He punched me.
I was suspended for 2 weeks after that, which was just fine with me. Felt like my life was over. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to study. And I didn't want to see anyone. I turned my phone off so none of my friends could reach me. I was locked in my room for a whole week until one day, there was a knock on my door. Nancy was here. She saw me in my tiny apartment. I was wearing old, faded hand-me-downs. What are you doing here? How did you find me?
I can track people. Why didn't you answer my calls? I was worried.
Maybe I'm embarrassed and I want to be alone.
You shouldn't be embarrassed for being poor. You should be embarrassed for lying to me about it.
Oh, I should have told you the truth. That my mom's a waitress and a janitor. That my dad abandoned us and we live like beggars. Which part makes you want to go out with me? She looked shell-shocked.
Wait, you want to go out with me?
I never said that. Just leave me alone, Nancy. I went into my room and slammed the door shut. I wanted to be anyone else except me right now. It got so much worse when I opened Instagram and saw pictures of Jack and Nancy together. I guess she found someone who can take care of her the way she deserved. I was in the worst mood of my life when I started school again. Nancy tried to talk to me a few times, but I just ran away from her. I thought I could just avoid her forever. Until one day we ended up on the same elevator alone. She punched the stop button, and the elevator came to a halt.
How long are you going to ignore me, Augie? You are driving me crazy.
I don't want to talk to you about my lies. Don't want to hear about your dates with Jack.
We're not dating, you idiot. I only clicked those selfies because he literally begged me. I like you.
It took me a few seconds to get that. You like me?
Are you blind? I've liked you since the first day we met.
It doesn't matter. We can't be together. Nancy, I'm poorer than your gardeners. I have nothing to offer you.
You have everything to offer me. You're a good friend. You're an amazing son. You're clever and you're handsome.
I was speechless. Nancy grabbed my collar and gave me a full peck on the lips.
Hi, I'm Bella from New York. Before I tell you my story, please like and subscribe. My aunt said my parents had an accident when I was a baby. And since then, I've lived with her and my cousin Lucy. But you never guessed another kid lived in this house. All the wall frames had pictures of just Aunt and Lucy. Lucy had the biggest room, bursting with toys and books. Lucy had so many clothes she had another room as a closet. And me, well, I lived in the attic with her hand-me-downs. But I didn't care. All I ever really wanted was for Aunt to love me like she loved Lucy. So I did whatever Aunt asked me. I served her breakfast in bed, polished her shoes, painted her nails. But somehow she was just never happy. Once when I was 10, a new neighbor came to visit Aunt, and she looked awestruck when she saw me.
What a beautiful child. That gorgeous red hair and those adorable dimples.
Adorable? They're just dents in her face. Stop smiling, Bella. You look like a moron. Go get us tea.
I went to the kitchen, spat in Aunt's tea, and gave her the cup with a very serious face there. But soon after I turned 13, my whole life was transformed. One day at breakfast, Aunt was going through the mail when suddenly she spat out her cereal. Just then, I saw the letter she was reading. It had my name on it. Hey, what's that? But Aunt had already jumped off her chair and she threw the letter in the fireplace. Why'd you do that? It was mine. I saw my name.
And who would write to you? You didn't see anything.
As she stormed off, I couldn't help thinking, who would write to me? A few days later, the doorbell rang, and a postman was standing outside.
Express delivery for Ms. Bella.
Suddenly, a flying figure pushed me aside and attacked the postman. Oh my God, Aunt! I tried snatching the letter from her, but she was off with it like a bullet. What the freaking turtle? What was she hiding? I was dying to find out, but the letter stopped coming. But one evening when the bell rang, Aunt ran to open the door. And standing outside were two bodyguards with a wealthy-looking man.
Can you explain what happened to the letters and plane tickets I sent for my daughter?
Wait, what? Just then the man spotted me, and his eyes welled up.
Oh my God, you must be Bella. You look exactly like your mother. I'm your dad, sweetie.
Dad? You're my dad? Why didn't you come for me before? He tearfully explained that he and Mom had gotten divorced before I was born, and she told him never to get in touch. He found out just recently that Mom had an accident so long ago, and he tracked me down. As we hugged tight, I turned around to Aunt. You made me think he wasn't even alive. And why were you keeping the letters from me?
Because you don't deserve to go live like a princess. You should be my maid, after everything I've done for you.
Used to you? I did everything you ever asked just so you'd love me. Did you ever love me at all? Even a little?
No, how could I?
Dad told me to pack my things immediately, but before going, I made sure to rub Aunt's toothbrush inside the toilet. Then I took Dad's hand and left without even saying goodbye. We flew over to New York, and I was shocked at the size of Dad's mansion. My room was 5 times bigger than Lucy's. This was freaking awesome. As Dad was showing me around the house, I suddenly saw a tall woman staring at me coldly from a distance. Dad was married, so that must be my stepmom.
Mary, there you are. Come meet Bella.
But Mary just turned away and slammed the door behind her. Later that night, I walked past their bedroom to hear Dad and Mary talking in loud voices.
It's her first day here, Mary. Think how unwelcome she must have felt.
What about me? You just expect you'll bring a child home and I'll start loving her like she's my own.
I crept away without hearing any more. Great! Another mom figure who already hated me. When I went down for breakfast the next morning, Dad greeted me with a smile, and so did Mary.
Sorry, Bella. I wasn't feeling too well yesterday. I hope you slept well.
Yeah, as if she cared. When I asked Dad for the orange juice, Mary quickly got up to pour it for me, and she dropped the whole jug in my lap. Oh my God, what are you doing?
I'm so sorry, it just slipped from my hands.
I know you don't want me here, but you don't have to be so petty. With I stormed off. Her whole innocent act was fake, and she proved me right soon enough. A few days later, I was walking over to the sofa in the living room when suddenly I tripped over something. I went flying straight into this weird statue. I stared at the wreck in horror. Mary leapt up angrily from her armchair.
Oh my God! How could you be so clumsy? Do you know what that's worth?
Just then, Dad burst into the room, and behind him were some guests.
What happened? We heard a loud crash.
Oh, honey. Bella broke the statue by accident, but thankfully she's not hurt.
Dad looked really upset, but stayed silent. I couldn't stop myself, though. You were just shouting at me, but the minute Dad came in, you became an angel.
What? No, I was just shocked. I didn't mean to shout.
Stop acting, Mary. You just want me to look bad in front of Dad. I think you tripped me up with your leg.
What? You little brat! How dare you? You must have tripped on the carpet.
That's enough. In case you both forget we have guests, Bella, please go to your room.
I walked off angrily and slammed my door shut. I didn't trust her one bit. Dad got me enrolled in school soon, and I felt nervous walking into the huge building. A few kids were looking at me, and I smiled. And suddenly, a bunch of boys were surrounding me.
Oh my God, can you do that again?
Do what?
Smile, please. Smile again.
I did, and all the boys just stared at me. What was wrong with my smile?
Those dimples are so freaking cute. I could just look at them all day. Wow. These dents in my face, like boys like these.
Just then, a girl pushed through the crowd.
Get away from her, you morons. You're scaring her. Hi, I'm Nora, and I don't have a redhead in my group. You look nice and rich, so we're friends now, okay?
Well, she wasn't really giving me a choice. I was part of her popular girls gang now. I loved my new school. But it started bothering me really soon that Nora could be rather mean to other kids. I tried to tell her a few times, but she always said she was only joking. But then, one day, I walked into the cafeteria and I saw her and her friends making fun of a kid on crutches.
Hey, Limpy, what would happen if I took away one of your legs?
And with that, she pulled away a crutch, and he landed hard on the ground. Nora, are you crazy? He's already hurt. Why are you bothering him?
Oh, come on. We're just joking around.
But it's not funny. You're just being a jerk bully.
Hey, no one talks to me like that, Tomato Girl.
She pounced on me and pinned me against the wall. I pushed her back, and she went crashing straight into the chemistry teacher walking by. He dropped all the bottles he was holding, and the vile smell of chemicals had everyone gagging and running out of there. And Nora and I got suspended for a week. Dad would be so disappointed. When I went down that evening to tell him, he wasn't in his study. But I found freaking Nora poking her nose through his things. She just picked up a pen and put it in her pocket. What are you doing in my house?
Your house? You live here? Since when?
You're interrogating me, you thief. Put that pen back right now or else.
Or else? What does that even mean?
I leapt at her, trying to reach her pocket as she fought back and screamed. Suddenly, we were pulled apart by Mary and another woman.
This witch attacked me. She's the one who got me suspended too. Mom.
Bella, Nora is my guest. Her mom and I are friends. What's going on here?
I guess I just have better taste in friends than you. I brushed past her and stormed off. Of course, Mary was friends with awful people like herself. A few days later, Dad was away on a business trip, and someone quietly opened my door at midnight. To my surprise, it was Mary with a hand behind her back. What? What do you want?
Your dad told me it's your birthday, and I just came to say, well, happy birthday.
She stepped forward with a cake with candles on it. I never had a birthday cake before. I thanked her awkwardly, and she sat down on the bed.
Bella, I think we got off on the wrong foot, and I'd really like to start over. Maybe we can get to know each other better.
She looked really sincere, and I wondered if I'd judged her too quickly. Yeah, I think I'd like that, Mary. We started hanging out more, and I found myself actually liking her. She took me to lovely cafes, shows, and galleries around New York. She had the best taste in clothes, and shopping with her was so much fun. Soon after Dad returned, Mary threw me the most amazing birthday party ever. It was the best day of my life. A couple of months later, there was a dance in school, and I'd been asked out by this new boy who had all the girls drooling. That evening, I wore a gorgeous dress Mary had picked out for me. She'd even done my hair and makeup. I received so many compliments, and my date just couldn't keep his eyes off of me. We were slow dancing to a song when suddenly someone pulled the back of my dress really hard, and I heard the fabric rip. Oh my god. I turned around in horror to see Nora grinning and holding part of my dress. But everyone was staring at my back, at a long, ugly scar.
Look, Marcus. Look at that disgusting thing on her back. It's like she's freaking Frankenstein.
Suddenly, I leapt forward and slapped her hard. The only monster here, Nora, is you. I ran out in angry tears and got into my car. I didn't care if anyone knew about my stupid scar, but the only person who could have told Nora about it was Mary. She'd seen it when she was helping me try on a dress one day. I burst into the living room and started screaming. How could you be such a witch, Mary? You almost made me believe you cared about me.
What? What are you talking about? What happened to your dress?
Nora ripped my dress because you told her about this scar. Even Dad doesn't know. I only told you, and you thought it could be something you tell Nora to use against me. You're the most horrible person I know. You're even worse than my aunt. I hate you. As I cried furiously in my room, Dad came in and hugged me.
Sweetheart, there must be some mistake. Mary wouldn't do this.
She would. She did. No one else could. Don't defend her, Dad. So if Nora thought I was going to be embarrassed and hide, she was so wrong. I went back to school the next day, expecting weird looks and comments. But what happened left me shocked. The principal walked in during the first lesson and said,
The entire class came to me this morning to complain about an incident at the dance yesterday. And there is no way that I will tolerate this kind of behavior in my school. Nora, you're expelled.
As Nora stared at her in horror, the whole class erupted into cheers and applause. This totally made up for everything. When I got home that afternoon, I heard screams from the living room. It was Nora's mom.
No one had been spying on Bella. Your stupid maid saw her scar one day and told us. And so what? My daughter played a harmless little prank, and now she deserves to be exposed, expelled, her entire future destroyed. All because of that stupid, disfigured, red-haired witch.
Don't you dare talk like that about my daughter.
And with that, Mary punched her.
Get out of my house. You are not welcome here.
However, as the butlers let her out and she went screaming, Mary suddenly saw me and I started to cry. I'm so sorry, Mary, for thinking it was you. I've had a hard time believing you could really care for me. I heard you the first day you said you couldn't love me like your own, and I guess I've been scared to love you in case you didn't love me back.
Oh, darling, I said that? Yes, because I couldn't love you right away. It was all so new for me, too. I've never been anyone's mom, but I've tried so hard to get to know you and love you. And I really do now. Bella, I love you. You're my daughter as much as your dad's now.
I love you too. Hello, my name is Moana, and I'm from Hawaii. Please like and subscribe. Growing up, what I hated most was when my parents argued and yelled at each other. And it happened a lot. But there were some moments when we'd all laugh together. Like when I turned 3, Dad came home with the biggest unicorn doll for me, and Mom baked my favorite vanilla cake. It was the happiest day of my life.
Moana, you're the best thing that's ever happened. When you were born, our world changed.
Yes, darling. You mean everything to us.
Mom worked as a secretary at a big insurance company, and Dad worked at a local store. So we lived a pretty average life. But then one day, when I was 4, Mom came home driving her boss's expensive car and told Dad that she was leaving him. Please don't go, Mom. I love you.
Oh, my baby. Tell you what, you will visit me at my new house every weekend.
I watched Mom pack her bags and drive away. And Dad was so sad. He told me that he and Mom were now separated. Months later, he took me to visit her at her new fancy house. And she was sitting with her boss, carrying a new baby.
Mana, I'd like you to meet your baby sister, Luisa.
Luisa was the luckiest little baby because her dad bought her all the toys in the world. I liked going to their mansion, and Mom would be so happy every time I visited. But soon, Luisa started crying so hard for Mom's attention that it became difficult for us to spend any time together. Once, when I was 5 and Luisa was a toddler, Mom took us to the zoo and bought us both candy. But Luisa threw hers into the raccoon cage, and then she started crying hysterically for more. She even started pulling Mom's hair, and I gave her my candy so she'd calm down and give Mom a break.
Oh, Moana, thank you so much. You've always been such an understanding child. I hope your sister grows up to be just like you.
Thanks, Mom. I just want you to be happy. Since Mom had left, Dad always tried to hide his sadness and make me laugh with his jokes and dramatic bedtime stories. And I tried my best to always make him proud and happy, too. Once, in 2nd grade, Dad came to my school for a parent-teacher meeting, and my teacher, Sina, told him all sorts of nice things about me since I was the top student in her class.
Wow, I'm so proud of you, darling.
You should be. Moana is a very special little girl.
Right after the meeting, Dad invited Sina to come with us. For pizza. He looked really happy around her. And soon after, he started seeing her more often. And I didn't mind at all because she was very nice to me. Once, in 4th grade, we went to the skate park together, and Sina showed me how to skateboard.
Okay, I'm not letting go of your hand until you're strong on your feet.
I think I can skateboard on my own. Look! I let go of her grip and jumped up, feeling as if I were flying. And then suddenly my leg twisted and I fell down hard. I felt dizzy, and I saw Sina running towards me as I blacked out. I was rushed to the hospital, and my leg was put through so many scans and then bandaged up. Sina couldn't stop crying.
This is all my fault. I'm so sorry, Moana.
No, please don't blame yourself. I wanted to do that on my own. Dad hugged Sina to make her feel better. And just then, Mom barged in with Luisa.
How could you let this happen?
She started yelling at Dad, and they both got into a big argument, forgetting all about me. Guys, stop! Everyone looked at me, and then Luisa came closer to my bed, looking angry.
I had a big concert today. I was the lead. But now I'm here because Mom was worried about you. You ruined my concert.
Luisa, you can't speak to your sister like that. She just got injured.
Luisa pulled an ugly face at me, and just then, the doctor walked in with some bad news. He told my parents that my leg would never be normal again. I walked with a limp, and at school I couldn't participate in any sports. But I still remained the top student in the class, and everyone was so nice to me, since I'd never had trouble making friends. And I always helped them with their homework. One day when I was in 7th grade, Sina watched how I helped some kids understand a math equation, and she was so impressed.
Moana, you would make a really good teacher one day.
Yes, I would love to be a teacher one day, just like you, Sina. Sina really cared about me, and when I was in 8th grade, Dad told me that he wanted to marry her. I was so happy for them. Dad even invited Mom and her family. This was his way of finally making peace. Just before the event started, I found Luisa standing and glaring at the big wedding cake. What are you doing here alone?
Whatever I want. This cake looks so delicious.
Yes, it is, but don't stand too close. We don't want any accidents. She smirked at me, and then suddenly, she stuck her finger out and scooped the frosting off the cake. Hey, you can't do that. But she just laughed and reached for the cake again. I ran forward to pull her away as she tried to push me off. We both started wrestling and crashed straight into the cake. Just then, Mom and Dad appeared, looking speechless.
What have you girls done?
It wasn't me, Dad. Honest. Mom surprised me when she yelled at Luisa.
I'm so tired of your behavior, Luisa. Your father has spoiled you so much that everywhere you go, you ruin things. Moana was such a good child compared to you.
Well, maybe I should tell Dad to send you back to your poor family.
Both Dad and I were so shocked at the way Luisa spoke to Mom. And after the wedding, when I visited Mom again, I noticed that Luisa was awful to Mom all the time and bossed her around because her dad gave her the power to do so.
Mom, my Prada jacket still has a stain. Get it cleaned right now. I need it for school.
Okay, dear.
Why are you so mean to Mom?
Because she never does anything right. And if she doesn't listen, my dad will kick her out.
She's our mom. Don't you love her?
Well, she loves you more. So I guess I love my dad more.
When I tried to talk to Mom about what was going on in her life, she told me not to worry and said she could handle it. There wasn't much I could do to help her. One day in 10th grade, I was studying in the school library when a boy came out and sat on the table opposite to me. I knew exactly who he was. Maui! He was one of the hot, popular guys at school and was reading one of my all-time favorite books. My eyes kept wandering to him now and then, and I tried not to make it too obvious, but he was just so gorgeous. And while I sat zoned out in my fantasy, he suddenly started waving in my face.
Hey, are you okay?
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't staring. I was actually,
It's okay. I'm used to it. That's why I sometimes come in here to hide away from the girls coming after me. My parents wanted me to be a model because of all the attention I get.
Yes, you're very good looking. Modeling would suit you.
I actually like books and reading. I don't like being in the spotlight.
I was so surprised because I always saw him surrounded by girls. I was never after him because he was way out of my league. But after meeting him in the library, we actually became good friends because we had so much in common. One day, he asked if I'd like to see the latest Disney movie with him. And I was so excited that another kid in school liked that kind of stuff. We even dressed up like the characters and had the time of our lives. I'm so happy to finally have a Moana partner.
Me too! You're such a cool person to hang out with.
He looked deep into my eyes, and then he leaned over and kissed me. I was so shocked because it all felt like a dream. And then I looked down at my leg and started doubting myself and wondering if any of this was real.
Hey, what's wrong?
Maui, you're like the hottest guy on this planet, and there's so many pretty girls without any issues like mine. So why me?
There's nothing wrong with you, Moana. You're perfect.
Maui liked me just as I was, and I learned to love myself with my brokenness. Life at school felt great, until one day, Mom called me with some surprising news.
Honey, Luisa will be joining your school. She got expelled from her fancy private school because she was bullying kids.
But Mom, she won't fit in at my school.
No other school will accept her. Please look out for her and show her around. Maybe she can learn something from you.
The next day, Luisa walked into my school wearing a pink fluffy coat and black shades. Just as she approached me, a group of girls snuck up behind her and spray-painted her coat.
What is wrong with you fools? This is Dolce & Gabbana. Oh my gosh, you ruined it.
The girls went ballistic and lifted her off her feet.
What did you call us?
Put me down.
When I told the girls that she was my sister, they let her go.
What is wrong with the people in your school?
This is not one of your fancy schools, and all the newbies get spray-painted. It's tradition.
That's why I hated the idea of a public school. Poor people have no class.
She was such a snob. While I was showing Luisa around, we bumped into Maui, and he kissed me before running off to class. Luisa looked at me, stunned.
Oh my god, how did the hottest guy in school end up with you?
Why? What's wrong with me?
Everything! You're boring! You dress like a granny and you have a broken leg.
You're just a very ugly person inside and out, Luisa.
I'm going to steal him from you. Watch and see.
I wasn't threatened by my stupid sister. After school, when Maui walked me out to the gate, Luisa ran after us and slipped her number into his pocket. Before I could say anything, Maui spoke up.
Luisa, what's wrong with you? I'm with your sister, and I'm crazy about her. Please, just stay away from me.
I smiled widely as Luisa turned red. And just then, Sina came to pick me up. We had to wait till Mom came for Luisa, and she yelled on the phone at Mom for being late.
Hey, you can't speak to your mom that way!
Mind your own business, lady. You are not my stepmother.
Luisa was just out of control. I decided I was done with her. I completely ignored her for the next day at school. And during recess, she insulted some girls by calling them poor. And they all surrounded her, but I didn't run to her rescue.
Hey, aren't those girls hurting your sister?
Yes, but she can't control her awful mouth. Whatever happens to her, she deserves it.
Yeah, but she's still your sister.
Maui always had a way to make me think twice. So I stepped into the circle of girls and found my sister crying.
Moana, please tell them to bring back my bag.
Not until you promise to change your ways, especially how you speak to Mom.
I promise. Please, please save me from these mean girls.
It's not so nice when it's done to you, right? I told the girls to leave my sister alone, and then she joined me and Maui for lunch. And to my shock, she actually apologized for being a jerk.
I'm really sorry, Mona. I've always been mean to you and Mom because I always felt she loved you more. But today, when those girls were mean to me, I felt what it was like to be the weak one. I've hurt so many people already.
Well, it's never too late to change. Later that day, when my stepmom and Mom came to pick us up, Luisa apologized to both of them too. And then Sina told us some thrilling news. She was pregnant. Oh my God. What? I'm gonna be a big sister again.
That baby's lucky to have you, Moana.
And you, Louisa, will be the best big sisters ever. Hi, friends. My name is Anna, and I'm from LA. Before I tell you my story, please like and subscribe. I used to live in a tiny apartment with my dad, but he wanted to give me everything in the world.
Sweetheart, I promise you I'll give you the world. You'll have everything that I didn't have in my childhood. I will make you so happy.
But Daddy, I am so happy. See, Dad fulfilled his promise and worked hard. He became one of the most successful businessmen in the country, and I couldn't be prouder. Dad loved spoiling me. He'd get me all the latest gadgets, collectible Barbies, and I even had a theme park inside our mansion. I had everything and lived the life of a princess. But there was just one thing missing. My mom. Ever since I was a little girl, I was so curious about my mom, and whenever I'd ask him about her, he'd tell me how it was her loss that she left us. On my 5th birthday, Dad threw us the most lavish party ever. He went totally overboard and had ponies and even hot air balloons. I was having a wonderful time with my friends, but when I was in the jumping castle, a kid was being super pesky and kept bumping into others. When he pushed me, I pushed him back, and he ended up falling out of the jumping castle in an instant. His mom came running and hugged him so tight.
Oh my God, my dear, are you hurt?
She then glared at me and said,
If your mom hadn't left you, maybe she could have taught you some manners.
I felt so crushed. Even though it was that kid's fault, and he wasn't hurt bad, his mom was so worried she lovingly swept him into her arms and left. It was at that moment I realized that leaving me was not my mom's loss, but mine. And then I ended up throwing the worst tantrum ever. When Dad brought my giant cake out, I kicked the table. I don't want this. I want my mommy. Daddy, give me my mommy. Everyone was stunned to see me acting out, and then the party was over. Later, when Dad came to tuck me into bed, he gave me a gift.
I wanted to give you this when you were older, but I know you need it now.
It was a locket with a picture of my mom. It was the first time I was seeing her picture, and it made me so happy. Every night, I kissed her picture and vowed to find her someday. Mommy, one day when I grow up, I promise I'll find you, and I'll be so good you'll love me. One time I was at school, and we were going for swimming lessons. The teacher asked everyone to remove any watches and jewelry we were wearing, but I just couldn't remove Mom's locket. Teacher, can I keep my locket on, please?
Why?
It's the only thing I have of my mom. I never take it off. Hearing this, the teacher squeezed me into a hug, and all the kids looked at me with such sad eyes.
Oh, I am so sorry, Anna. I didn't know. My heart aches for you. Sweetie, you can keep wearing that locket.
After that day, everyone seemed kind of extra nice to me in class. They'd offer me the best seat during lunch. Everyone wanted to sit with me and would even share their lunch with me.
Anna, try this. My mom made it especially for you. When I told her about your mom, she so wanted to cook this for you.
Okay, thanks a lot. Even in class, the teachers were extra sweet to me. One time, we were having a test, and I just coughed, and my teacher went all emotional on me saying that I didn't need to take the test.
Okay, that was awesome because I wasn't prepared.
With a smile, I left the class, but during lunchtime, Bella came over to me. She was like the meanest girl in our school.
Anna, don't you get sick of your sob story every time? It's, I don't have a mommy. Always taking sympathy from teachers and other kids. You're such a drama queen. No wonder your mommy ran away from you.
God, her words made my blood boil, but it also hurt me so much I felt I would start crying. But just then, someone spoke. It was Isaac, the scholarship student at her school.
Come on, Bella, you have your entire life to be a jerk. Why not take off today? Leave her alone.
Bella just rolled her eyes and checked her nails.
You know, Isaac, you and Anna, you're both pretty much alike. She uses her mommy story, and you use your oh I'm so poor story so people will have pity on you. So pathetic. That did it.
I never wanted anyone's sympathy or pity. Without even thinking twice, I grabbed Bella's hair, and then she did too. We both were fighting like crazy. Later, we were taken to the principal's office. I was expecting to get detention, but she only punished Bella, and that really pissed me off. Why didn't I get punishment? I also pulled her hair.
Anna, we know you're a good student. Bella has had many complaints against her. It's time she faces the consequences of her actions. I am going to expel her.
Whoa! I knew the principal was taking pity on me. I stormed out of the office, but was totally surprised to see how many kids gathered outside looking at me with gooey eyes. Is everything all right? Why are you guys looking at me so weirdly?
Weirdly? Anna, it's pure adoration. You saved us. You're like the first girl to show Bella her place. It was so cool.
The look on her face felt like a cherry on top of a cake. Okay, I sure wasn't expecting this. After that day, Isaac would follow me around everywhere. Not just Isaac, but so many other kids too. They treated me like some sort of leader, and I was in no way a leader. All the time I would be getting praises and compliments, and it was kind of getting on my nerves.
Oh, Anna, your skin. It's so beautiful.
Anna, can you teach me how you solve that math equation? I know you study smart instead of studying hard. I don't want to be like you.
Since I liked music, there was one time in art class, I was just humming a song when all of a sudden Isaac put me in the spotlight.
Oh my god, that was the sweetest voice I have ever heard. Come on, guys, let's hear it from Anna.
No, zip it, Isaac. But then everyone started chanting my name like I was some pop star. Even the teachers mustering all my courage. I sang, and everyone clapped so loud for me. Okay, that was weird because I was just a normal singer, nothing extraordinary, but everyone treated me as if I was something special. As if things couldn't get any weirder, my classmates chose me as the class president. The surprising thing was that I never participated. I didn't have any clue how to be a class president, but Isaac was there for me. Turned out he was a really nice guy and helped me every step of the way. Isaac and I became best friends. The guy was totally my support system, always there for me. When we were in high school, Isaac started working in a cafe as a barista, and I loved hanging out there. One time when I was at the cafe, Isaac made his signature coffee for me. But just then, I saw someone enter the cafe, and I dropped the cup. It was Mom. I could recognize her face in a million faces. She had 2 kids with her, and the moment Isaac saw her, he greeted her and called her Emily. I felt like my whole world was standing still. I came out of my stupor when I saw one of her kids run out of the shop, and that's when I bolted. Hey, stop, get back in here. No. The kid just stuck out his tongue at me and was about to run onto the road, but thank God I lunged forward. I grabbed his shirt and pulled him back, and right then a truck passed by. That was close, really close. Right then Mom came out and thanked me.
Oh my God, thank you so much. You saved my baby. You're an angel.
No problem. I just turned to leave, but Mom grabbed my shoulder. I thought she'd recognize me, but it was something else.
So you work here? You seem like someone who can handle kids. Can you babysit my boys? I'll give you a letter of recommendation once you're done. I'll pay you well too.
Oh my God, how could I say no to that? I instantly agreed. I started working at Mom's place, and it had been 3 days, and I totally loved it. She lived in a big mansion, but that was nothing compared to where Dad and I lived. I was pretty amazed to see Mom's life. She loved makeup and posted her videos on Instagram, and her husband seemed like a nice guy who really loved her. Every night before leaving, I would see Mom tucking the twins into bed. She would snuggle them and shower them with kisses. It was adorable, but it always made me feel a tad bit jealous. In a few weeks, the twins and I started to get along just fine, and Mom was so happy, telling me how they never liked babysitters, but had started to love me. Why wouldn't they? I was their big sister. There was one time Mom had to go out, and when she returned, I was totally drained, and she felt bad for me.
Oh, honey, I am so sorry I got late today. I'll pay you extra today. And what have the twins done to your hair? Come on, I'll give you a makeover. Have you looking like a supermodel.
Makeover? Wow, I would love that. Mom then put on some light makeup and did my hair just like she did hers. But once she was done, she looked at me so shocked I wondered why. And looking at my reflection in the mirror, I knew the answer. I looked just like her. I wish you would notice how much we were alike. Notice me?
Wow, you are a very pretty girl.
Just like you. I mean, of course, you did my makeup and hairstyle like yours. So that's why I look so pretty.
Perhaps. But girl, you are a natural beauty.
After that day, I felt like Mom's eyes were constantly on me. Every time I'd be doing something with the twins, I would catch her staring at me, and then she'd look away. I knew something was on her mind, but she never said anything. There was one time when Mom was making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for the twins and offered me one too. PB&J makes me puke. No way!
Really? Same. I hate them too. I didn't realize we're so much alike.
Yeah, perhaps. Mom looked at me for a few seconds and then blurted,
Anna, what's your father's name?
My heart started to beat so fast. Finally, she had realized who I was. But just as I opened my mouth, Mom's husband stepped in and kissed her, and I decided to talk to her later. But later that night, I heard noises from Mom's room. I was so worried and went upstairs, but what I heard broke my heart. Mom and her husband were arguing about Mom's first daughter.
You're telling me this now after all these years? You deceived me.
I was so young when I had her, but now things are different. I know I made a mistake.
Yes, a mistake. Mistakes are meant to be forgotten. Just forget her and focus on the now. Your family, your husband, and your boys.
That moment, I realized what I was doing. Mom was happy. She had the perfect life, the perfect family, the perfect husband, and I was ruining it all for my own selfish reasons. I just ran out of the house, and thank God Isaac was waiting for me outside. I instantly hugged him and told him everything. I just want to leave her alone. I can't do this. I can't shatter her perfect life.
But she's your mom too. It's your right to confront her.
Forget about it. Let's go home. That day when I went home, I gave Dad a tight hug. He truly was my world. I decided to get out of Mom's life and let her be, so I started to avoid her calls. She texted me and wanted me to come to her house, but I refused and messaged her saying I had a new job. But a week later, something strange happened. I was in my room when I heard Mom's voice. She was calling my name, and I came running down the stairs and was so shocked to see her. Dad and I both stood stunned, and then Mom came running and swept me into her arms.
Oh my God, I knew it. It's really you, my daughter, my Anna. That day I wanted to talk to you, but you left. Anna, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry for my mistakes. Why did you leave without talking to me?
Because I am a mistake. Mistakes are meant to be forgotten.
Oh, darling, please forgive me. I was a fool for thinking so. You are my strength. You are the person who made me a mother. It was foolish of me to abandon you, but I promise, even if I had to fight against the world, I'll never leave your side. I love you so much.
I love you too, Mom. I love you so much.